So they can't fire me. And first of all, they fire me. They got to pay me for 7 years, and I'm gonna quit way before then. But if they want to fire me, I would love for them to do that.
Charles Barkley sat on live TV and said it straight. They can't fire me. I make too much money. It sounded like a joke, but it wasn't. That line was aimed, and people close to the situation knew exactly who it was for. Shannon Sharpe. Behind the scenes, things were already messy. Shannon, once on track for a $100 million deal, was losing ground fast. A lawsuit hit, social media scandals followed, and as Barkley's star rose at ESPN, rumors swirled that Shannon tried to stop it, maybe even tried to get Chuck fired, but it backfired. Big time. ESPN didn't punish Barkley for speaking out. They promoted him, gave him power, let him bring his whole inside the NBA crew with him. Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, even the production team. This wasn't just a hire, it was a takeover. And Shannon, he's been pushed further into the background. No raise, no promotion, just headlines, controversy, and a reputation in free fall. Then it got worse. A leaked audio clip allegedly caught Shaq, of all people, asking a media fixer to dig up dirt on Shannon. Days later, a lawsuit dropped, and Shannon's media empire started crumbling. Now the question is, was this just bad luck or a full-on takedown? Did Shannon try to sabotage Barkley and lose everything in the process? Or is ESPN letting the drama unfold on purpose, chasing clicks while its top stars go to war? This isn't just another sports feud, it's a power shift, and by the end of it, someone's getting pushed out for good. It all started quietly. No public shots, no headlines, just whispers behind the scenes. Word got out that Shannon Sharpe wasn't happy about Charles Barkley inching into his ESPN territory. Barkley wasn't just joining the team. He was taking up real estate, commanding attention, and shifting the spotlight. And for someone like Shannon, who'd been building his own media empire, that wasn't just competition. It was a threat. According to insiders, Shannon tried to block Barkley's ESPN deal from happening. He reportedly went to network executives and pointed out Barkley's past controversies, his off-script rants, the moments that would have gotten anyone else fired. Shannon hoped it would be enough to make ESPN back off, but it didn't work. Instead of pulling back, ESPN leaned in. They saw Barkley as ratings gold, raw, entertaining, and completely different from their polished, overly scripted style. Executives didn't care about his rants. They didn't care that he publicly called ESPN's work habits exhausting. They gave him the mic anyway. Barkley, never one to play politics, kept it real. He said he wasn't about to work like a dog just to fit into ESPN's mold, called out the non-stop ads, even threw shade at Stephen A. Smith for grinding too hard, but instead of silencing him, ESPN handed him the keys. That's when things shifted. Shannon, already under pressure from legal issues and bad PR, started losing leverage. The man who once had networks bidding for his presence was now in damage control mode. Meanwhile, Barkley kept climbing. No filter, no penalties, just power moves, and for Shannon, it must have stung. All the effort to shut Chuck down only made him stronger. But that wasn't the end of it. Charles Barkley didn't just get a seat at ESPN, he took the whole table. While Shannon Sharpe tried to hold his ground, Barkley came in with force. ESPN didn't just give him a segment or a short-term contract. They let him bring everything, inside the NBA, the crew, the energy, even the production team. Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, all of them, reportedly set to make the jump with him. This wasn't a promotion, it was a replacement. Behind the scenes, ESPN was gearing up to make Barkley the new face of their NBA coverage. And while fans were excited, Shannon was watching his territory disappear. The same lane he thought he'd own was now being rebuilt, without him in it. Meanwhile, Barkley kept calling the shots. He went on air and laughed at the idea of getting fired. He flexed that he's too expensive to touch. He reminded everyone of his TNT contract, $210 million over 10 years, and said he wasn't even planning to finish it. He doesn't need ESPN. That's what makes him dangerous. ESPN knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't just hiring Barkley. They were betting on his raw, unfiltered brand to bring back life to their NBA lineup. No leash, no script, just Chuck being Chuck. And audiences loved it. Shannon, on the other hand, was slipping. The lawsuit was still looming. His viral IG Live slip-up had fans side-eyeing him, and now the chatter was growing. Shannon wasn't just losing screen time, he was losing influence. Every time Barkley went off script and ESPN backed him, it sent a message. He's the priority now. What made it worse? Barkley wasn't even subtle about it. He threw shade at ESPN's polished format, mocked the network's obsession with structure, blamed them for ruining the fun. And still, he got more airtime, more support, more power. For Shannon, the writing was on the wall. Barkley didn't just survive the sabotage, he flipped it and turned the entire platform in his favor. And just when Shannon thought it couldn't get worse, someone else entered the game. Just when Shannon Sharpe thought he was only battling Barkley, another force stepped out of the shadows, Shaquille O'Neal. And this wasn't some friendly rivalry. This was something far more calculated. For years, fans noticed tension between Shannon and Shaq, subtle jabs on air, shady interviews, cryptic posts. But it always stayed just under the surface, until now. Because according to a leaked audio recording, Shaq might have played a bigger role in Shannon's downfall than anyone expected. The clip allegedly captured Shaq speaking with a media fixer, someone paid to dig up damaging stories on celebrities. In the recording, a voice sounding a lot like Shaq said, "Find me something real on Shannon. I know it's there. I want the stuff that sticks." The response? Calm. Director. Let me work on that one real quick. And not long after that, the lawsuit dropped. Whether it's coincidence or something more strategic, the timing is hard to ignore. The scandal hit just as Barkley and Shaq were reportedly finalizing their ESPN moves. Shannon's brand started unraveling, first the legal headlines, then the livestream incident, then the rumors of being phased out. If Shaq really was behind it, it would explain a lot. This wasn't just about commentary anymore. This was about power, about clearing the lane for a full takeover. And if that meant pushing Shannon out quietly, so be it. The deeper issue: Shannon was left alone. No one backed him publicly. Not ESPN, not fellow analysts, not even his podcast co-hosts. Meanwhile, Shaq and Barkley moved as a unit, bringing their inside the NBA momentum straight to the biggest sports network in the world. What once looked like a career rivalry now seemed like a setup. And Shannon? He was outnumbered and outmaneuvered. While Shaq kept smiling for the cameras, fans started connecting the dots. Maybe this wasn't random, maybe this was the long game, and Shaq, known for playing chess not checkers, just made his biggest move yet. But the real storm was still coming, because ESPN wasn't done shifting the board. While Shannon Sharpe and Charles Barkley were grabbing headlines, ESPN sat quietly in the background, watching the chaos unfold. But here's the twist: they didn't try to stop it. In fact, it looks like they may have wanted it. Controversy gets clicks. Drama keeps people watching. And in the age of non-stop headlines, ESPN knows that two household names feuding on air is worth more than any marketing budget. Instead of stepping in to cool things down, the network seemed to lean into it, strategically. Think about it. Barkley mocks ESPN's structure, openly says he won't grind like Stephen A. Smith, and even jokes that their formats are ruining basketball coverage. Yet they give him more airtime, more control, more visibility, no fines, no reprimands, just a bigger platform. Then there's Shannon, once ESPN's rising star, now reduced to background noise. No promotion, no pay bump, not even a public statement of support after the lawsuit hit. If anything, the silence said it all. Sources say ESPN execs have already greenlit a new NBA studio show, with Barkley at the center and rumors that he'll help pick the new talent. That means Shannon's spot isn't just at risk, it may already be gone. And here's where it gets even more calculated. Bringing in Barkley wasn't just about ratings, it was about reshaping ESPN's entire approach. They wanted to capture the inside the NBA magic, raw conversations, real personalities, and viral moments, not the squeaky, clean, over-scripted stuff fans were tuning out of. And Barkley delivered exactly that. But it wasn't just Chuck. He brought the whole team: Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, even parts of TNT's production crew. ESPN didn't just recruit a star, they hijacked an entire winning formula and slapped their logo on it. And while viewers were distracted by Barkley's wild takes and Shannon's collapse, ESPN quietly executed one of the boldest shakeups in sports media history. They let two of their biggest personalities go to war, and they capitalized on every second of it. Now with Barkley holding more influence than ever, and Shannon still buried under controversy, the network's next move could seal the deal. Because the biggest question now isn't just who stays on air, it's who controls the future of NBA coverage. Shannon Sharpe wasn't supposed to lose. Just a year ago, he was everywhere, debating with Skip Bayless on Undisputed, racking up millions of podcast views, and reportedly close to signing a $100 million media deal. He had the voice, the fan base, the presence, but one slip after another, and the empire started cracking. It began with the lawsuit. Gabriella Zinga accused Shannon of serious misconduct, claiming disturbing behavior and saying she was barely legal when their situation began. The case hit hard. Even though all the facts weren't out, public trust started fading. Brands got quiet, ESPN stopped pushing his content, and Shannon's name became more associated with controversy than credibility. Then came the Instagram live disaster. Shannon accidentally left his stream running, and what people saw wasn't a good look. The behavior on that live stream gave the internet all the ammo it needed. Screenshots flooded Twitter, reaction videos popped up instantly. And suddenly, Shannon wasn't seen as sharp and composed. He was seen as sloppy, reckless, and unraveling under pressure. Comments online were brutal. Some blamed the lawsuit, others pointed fingers at jealousy over Barkley's new deal. He fumbled his own bag, one fan said. Another wrote, Shannon's mad because Chuck got the raise and the respect. And to make matters worse, while all this was happening, Barkley was rising. His voice was getting louder, his spotlight brighter. Shannon was stuck in crisis mode, reacting to headlines while Barkley was out making them. He didn't fight back publicly. No statements, no strong denials, no high ground press tour. Just silence. And that silence gave everyone else control of the narrative. ESPN saw it too. When Shannon needed the network to rally behind him, they didn't. They didn't deny the rumors, didn't protect his image, didn't even stand by him in public. Behind closed doors, they were already moving forward with Chuck. And as Barkley gained influence over who gets airtime and who doesn't, Shannon's role shrank. No big show announcements, no new segments, just a slow fade to the background. The fall wasn't just about one scandal. It was a perfect storm. Personal missteps, professional silence, and a ruthless shift in power. Now, what once looked like a media dynasty is barely holding on. And Shannon, he's not just fighting for airtime anymore. He's fighting to stay in the game at all. Shannon Sharpe was on top. Massive podcast views, national TV presence, and a $100 million media deal rumored to be on the table. Then it all started falling apart. The lawsuit hit first. Serious accusations from Gabriella Zinga claiming disturbing behavior and threatening messages. Even without all the facts, public trust cracked. Sponsors pulled back. ESPN went quiet. Then came the IG Live incident. Shannon accidentally streamed himself in a moment that instantly went viral for all the wrong reasons. The internet tore him apart. Fans started calling it what it was, a self-inflicted collapse. While Shannon scrambled to recover, Barkley was rising. New deal, bigger role, more control, and worst of all, Barkley didn't just rise, he took the spotlight Shannon thought he owned. ESPN didn't step in to help. No support, no protection, just silence. And behind closed doors, they'd already chosen their guy, Barkley. Now, with Chuck reportedly helping shape the new NBA lineup, Shannon's seat isn't just unstable. It might already be gone. What once looked like jealousy now feels like regret. And Shannon? He's not just trying to win viewers back. He's trying to stop the freefall before it's too late. Charles Barkley doesn't follow the rules. He rewrites them. He mocks ESPN's format, refuses to grind like Stephen A. Smith, and still gets more power. Most personalities would get benched. Barkley gets promoted. Why? Leverage. He's the ratings draw ESPN desperately needs. His $210 million TNT deal already proved his value, and he's made it clear. He doesn't need ESPN. They need him. That kind of freedom makes him untouchable. While Shannon was fighting for screen time, Barkley walked in and called the shots. Brought the inside the NBA squad with him, even hinted that ESPN might ruin the magic, and said it publicly. No consequences, just a bigger platform. Executives see the future in Barkley, not just a personality, but a full-on takeover brand. That's why when Shannon allegedly tried to block his arrival, Barkley didn't flinch. He responded with one line that said it all. "They can't fire me. I make too much money." That wasn't ego. That was fact. Barkley isn't worried about losing his seat. He's too busy deciding who else gets one. Shannon Sharpe had it all: fame, fans, and a fortune on the table. But now, after lawsuits, live stream slip-ups, and ESPN's silence, he's stuck on the sidelines while Barkley takes over the court. With Barkley gaining power and hand-picking talent, Shannon's future at ESPN looks shaky. No support, no promotion, just rumors of an exit. Still, all isn't lost. Shannon's name still carries weight. He has fans. He has reach. If he makes the right move, owns his narrative, rebuilds his brand, he could flip this downfall into a comeback. But time's running out. Because while Shannon's hesitating, Barkley is already setting the tone for ESPN's next chapter. He brought his team. He brought his style. And most importantly, he brought results. The power shift is already happening. Barkley didn't just survive the drama, he used it. And now the network, the spotlight, and the future? It's all his. As for Shannon, if he doesn't act now, he won't just lose the game. He'll be forgotten by the next one.